G'day guys, Chaos Chronicles. Rightio, so we're going to talk about today, we'll have a chat about fighting in prison. It's a pretty common question that gets asked and I'll try and cross all bases in one. All right. So trying to avoid fighting in prison, there's only one method to avoiding fighting in prison, and that is pay close attention. Don't go to prison. That is the only way to stop fighting in prison. And that's the sad reality of the situation you are finding yourself in if you're going to jail. Now, if someone wants to fight you in prison and you, let's say, for instance, someone wants to fight you for whatever reason, and if you say, I'm not a fighter, I don't want to fight, if you say, I don't want to fight for whatever reason, that is not going to fly. And I'll tell you why that's not going to fly. So jail is like, it's all about perception, and it's all about, like, so no one wants to be living with someone who they can't trust like that. So, like, that's why snitches and dogs and all that go somewhere else. It's because they can't be trusted and they will get hurt, you know? And so the worst thing about that is if you say to somebody that you don't want to fight them for whatever reason, they're just going to think the worst straight away. And they do, believe me. They're just going to think that you are a rat or a dog, or you have something to, well, they're just going to say, right? And this is why. So if they perceive people as weak as rats and dogs for this reason and this reason only, because let's say, for instance, you went to the police station for an armed robbery and you would be getting asked questions by hardened detectives, right? And so therefore, if you are not willing to, put your pride on the line and have a fight, people are going to think in jail that you are a snitch, and that if you can't fight for your own in jail, then you're not going to be able to stand up for yourself against the cops either, and therefore you will buckle and lag and this and that. Does that mean if somebody doesn't want to fight, does that mean that they are a snitch? Absolutely not. It does not. Is this what people will think? 100 million %. And I guess if you didn't want to, if you didn't want to fight, it's not going to matter. I was just trying to think of ways you could get away around it, and there's really not. And also, if you don't fight, right, so the person who you're fighting against right then and there might accept at that time that you didn't want to fight him, right? But I can assure you it's not going to take long before people start hounding you for not wanting to fight that person and everyone. So you not wanting to fight is automatically going to cause you enemies of everyone, because like I said, no one wants to be around weak people. They would rather you be a weak person and have a crack, and you would probably earn so much more respect that way. And not probably, you actually would. And this is another sad reality of jail. The mentality is just, and you can't even really explain it to people. Like, they have to witness it for themselves. Like, jail is literally like the jungle, and I say it's like the jungle not because it says there's a jungle out there on Underbelly. I say it because it's law of the jungle. It's whoever is the strongest will survive. And, it's also one of those environments where the smartest will survive as well, because I've also seen people, who don't fight, very smart, use other people to their own advantage, and that works as well. But not fighting in jail. Like, you are literally going to just cause so many enemies straight away. And I literally would just say that, like, look, you've made it this far. You've made it to the mainstream, you obviously might not have lagged on your mates or whatever. You may as well keep some kind of dignity and at least let people know that if someone tries to fight you, you are going to fight back. Because there is so many things that will happen when people see you not fight back. All the predators are going to see that, right? And by predators, I've explained this in videos. I don't mean sexual predators. Although, there would be them type of people watching too, right? But they are like, people are going to see this as a weakness, and then you better believe that the flurry of people coming to annoy the shit out of you and try and get things out of you because they know you're not going to do anything is going to blow your mind. Like, people will just come in droves. All right. Now let's talk about words that will get you hurt in jail, right? So I've made a video saying about the old adage is sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Well, that old adage is out the window in jail. It is just out the window. I have literally seen people lose their life over words. I've seen people get seriously injured over words, and that will just go on till the end of time, until criminality is not a thing anymore. People getting hurt over words, it will always happen. And I'm going to use some examples on words that, even if you know someone who's in the criminal world, that you shouldn't call these people these words, because I can't tell you how many people I know that have used these words, and one of these words in particular, and this word doesn't fly in the other states. It's only if you use it in Victoria. So be known, all you prisoners from out there that might be looking to go to jail in Victoria, do not use this last word I tell you about. All right, so obviously the first word is like snitch. Don't call anyone a snitch. Obviously, unless you know for a fact someone is a snitch, do not call them a snitch, especially in prison. And like I said, if you know criminals and your mates are criminals, but you don't know nothing about the life, never call someone a snitch. Never call them a dog, because a dog in Australia is seen as the same word as a snitch. And then you have rat, okay? So rat will also get you hurt, right? But then there's other words, right? Like skunk. If you call someone a skunk, that word will get you hurt. And if you hear someone else call someone a skunk or a rat or a dog or a snitch, you can guarantee, or any of these words I'm about to tell you about, you will see or hear a flurry of punches straight after it. All right, and then you've got maggot. You don't want to call anyone a maggot, because skunk and maggot is seen as their words that are right on par with being called a rat and a dog. They are in the same category, and if you call someone that, you are going to get attacked. What else? And all right, so I'll just cut straight to the last one, and that is champ, right? And what prompted me to want to make this video is because mine says champion. It's a champion jumper, right? But the word champ, as itself like that, champ, but you don't want to call anyone champion either. You do not want to call someone that name in prison in Victoria. It is only a word that, for some reason, they don't like in Victoria, and they don't seem to use it in any other states. I've seen for myself other people come to prison in Victoria and find out, quickly, that you don't call someone champ. And I've seen so many people use that word and unfortunately learn their fate very quick. This word means pedophile. If you are, you just know. If you know, you know, right? So the whole Cockney slang. So the whole Cockney slang is based around the jail Cockney slang, words that sound like other words, and you use that word instead. It's kind of a way of talking and writing back in the day in prison in secret, but you better guarantee that all the screws know this Cockney slang now. So, but yeah, champ means pedophile. So tamp, it's a Cockney slang for tamp. Tamperer means pedophile in jail. And yeah, it is probably, and like I said, it is probably, you will see people, as soon as they call someone that, they are definitely going to be in a fight. And if someone gets called that and they don't smash that person's head in for doing that, then they are going to be in a fight themselves for not doing anything. And this is the worst thing about jail. Same if someone calls you a dog and you don't do anything about it. Someone calls you a snitch. Someone calls you a rat. Someone calls you a skunk. Someone calls you a maggot. And you don't do anything about it. You're going to have all these people that want to fight you because they perceive you as weak and you didn't stand up for yourself. And then you're going to have all the predators that come as well. And believe me, it is not something you want to do. And you do not want to let anybody know. The first sign of weakness you show in jail, people are just going to prey on it, and they are going to work on it and work on it, believe me. And people are like pros. They are full pros at like getting what they want out of people, and full pros in getting what they want out of fear also. And so, you better believe it. You never, and another thing, you never accept anything off anyone in jail for free. Nothing's for free in jail, unless you trust that person 100%. Never accept anything for free, because there's always going to be a hidden agenda. So yeah, fighting in jail, very rarely you have people go to prison that don't fight. Yes, it happens. Do you know what I mean? But then people are usually very smart and use other people to their own advantage. Therefore it's very hard to get out of. And if you get out of being in a fight without being in another fight for getting out of that fight, well, then my hat's off to you, because it doesn't happen very often. And like I said at the start of the video, there's only one way to stop this, and that is not going to jail. And, I always use this opportunity at the end to try and, if I can get someone to see what I'm saying and just show people that this, because I know as a kid how much I wanted to prove all the older crooks and that I was a badass and all this shit. Don't worry about this, because all that fake, what them older crooks are showing you, is fake love. At the end of the day, speak to me in 20 years and you tell me how many of your friends are still your friends at 20 years if you're still doing crime. How many of them haven't snitched on you? How many of them haven't slept with your missus? How many of them haven't stole off you? How many of them, like I'm telling you now, it's a rare group of mates these days that don't do that kind of shit to each other, And just crime's not. It's not. It's all a facade. Do you know what I mean? It's all about looking good, and if you only knew what went on in the background, or you see those people spending all the money, they've got nice cars and all this shit. What they don't tell you is the bullshit they had to go through to get to where they are now, and the bullshit they still go through every single day. If you are on that stature of criminal, you are dealing with a lot of bullshit every day, like enemies. Like, a lot of people, what you don't get told is as soon as you become a bike club member, congratulations, you just made enemies of every single member, hang around, people that want to be bikies, that hang around that club. All these people, like, you've literally just made thousands of mortal enemies. Some clubs have bash on sites, shoot on sight. So you could be out with your family and you get seen by your enemy club, you're getting shot or stabbed or bashed or whatever. Do you know what I mean? No one tells you about this shit. It's all a facade. Do you know what I mean? And trust me, even them people end up in jail. Do you know what I mean? And, people can say, oh yeah, I'm smarter, I'm not going to end up in jail, rah, rah, rah. Well, let me tell you, you can be the smartest criminal in the world and not go to jail, but other people are going to start calling you a snitch anyway. If you're doing crime for X amount of time, you can be the smartest person in the world. All your enemies, all these people that are jealous of you are going to say, that guy is a snitch. He hasn't been in trouble with the cops. How has he not been raided, this and that? People are going to say, that dude is a snitch. Like, it's a real dog-eat-dog world, mate. And, no pun intended. But, like, yeah, just crime is shit, man. And like, I spent 20 years of my life trying to prove to everyone how much of a crazy criminal, and all that did was get me jail time and all them people thinking I was a moron. You know what I mean? So it's just stupid. It's not worth it. But anyway, that is going to be the end of the clip. I've been Big Biff. You guys have been absolutely awesome. If you haven't shot me a follow yet, guys, jump up there, shoot me a follow. I'd really, really appreciate that. And that bell, if you smash that bell, every time I drop a video, you will get an instant notification that I have just dropped a video. And that way you'll never miss any of my videos again. That's what that bell is for. Drop a comment, guys. All of you guys know I get back to all my comments. I answer every comment. And if I find the comment interesting enough, I will answer it with a video. So you guys know I do that as well. So, all right, guys, that is the end of the video. Thank you very much for joining and watching. Much love, much respect. Let's go.